most companies have database whereby the data is being stored. So you may be given a task whereby you have to find something out and you have to write some queries. So it's more of like it's a programming language, not even more. It's a programming language, but it has its own syntax, just like Python and the rest. So I'm going to be going through the syntax one by one. So basically, I'm meant to send you a data, but I want us to start from scratch. So we're going to be creating our own table. When I mean table, just like data in form of spreadsheets, just like Excel where you have columns and rows. So we're going to be creating our own table. Hope you guys are following along. Are you guys following?
Yes, they're following.
Yes.
So to create your table, creating a basic table involves naming the table and defining its columns and each column's data type. So in SQL, when you want to create a table, just like your spreadsheet, you put in your column name, the data type, and some constraints. Now, the constraints are not important. You can ignore them, but you have to input your data type. Okay, so in SQL, we have different data types. We have so we have what we call variable character, we have the integers, we have the floats, we have boolean, which is the true or false, date timestamp, and so on. So to create a table in SQL, let's do something practical here. Let's create a table for classroom. So the syntax is create table, the table name, the column name, the data type. You can ignore the constraints. So let's, if you are opening your pgadmin, you can follow along as I do this. Okay, to install your pgadmin, for those that have not installed the pgadmin, I sent a message to the Slack group chat, but if you didn't get it, just go to postgresql.org. Can you see? Can you see my screen?
You can see your screen. Please hold on. What you are doing.
So you click on download. Then you choose your operating system. Then you click on download the installer. Yeah, so from here you choose your, okay, Windows 64, this is 64. So you click on this icon here. If you're on this page, to direct you to another page, enterprisedb.com. So you click on this download icon over here. So I'm not going to be downloading it now because it's already installed here. So you click here and you start your installation.
Okay, are we choosing the first one?
What did you say? Depending on your system, it's either Windows 64 or 32, depending on the system you're using.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
It's showing not
I said
supported for some.
yeah, then you pick for the 64 bits. So we're going to be creating a table. Are you guys in your PG admin yet? Time is not by our side. Let us first.
Hello. Please, I just joined the class now. Please, what are we to do? Thank you.
You have to install the PG admin software. Just visit postgresql.org to install the software.
Was it part of the links you sent to us? Because
Yes.
there's one I downloaded. Anytime I click on it, it shows me like 5 different files to open. The SQL, this thing. So I don't understand that one.
If you've downloaded one, just in your Windows tab, just search for PG admin.
Okay. I'll search for it now. PG admin, thank you.
Is how will I know the one that is going on my laptop? Because I just chosen my load this.
So you can check your Slack for the instructions and the link to download the software.
I've installed my own, but I'm trying to open it and it's showing.
Make sure your data is on.
PG admin server could not be contacted.
Like
I'm trying to install it and it's showing PG admin server could not be.
close and open again. Close the software and open it again. This is the interface you will get once it's opened.
Hello, sorry, is the interface, because this interface I'm seeing, it looks like we have to be online. So do we have to be online
definitely.
first?
Definitely.
Oh, okay.
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Please, can we use the online access, the SQL, or can you do one on our system?
You can use MySQL if you have MySQL, similar syntax, or using PG admin as our interface.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's working now. Thank you.
Okay.
Hello. I clicked on the post SQL 14. Under it, I'm seeing application stack builder, PG admin documentation, reload configuration. Which one am I to click on? And I'm seeing PG admin 4.
Can you share your screen? Let me see.
Okay, I would on my video now so that you see. Okay, this is it.
Yeah, PG admin 4. That is what you should click on.
All right, thank you.
Mr.
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. My question is after installing the SQL, is there on that SQL for PG admin? That PG admin. What's the difference between the PG admin and normal SQL?
Yeah, so basically, SQL is actually just like your programming language. You know, you can operate on Google Colab, Python, Jupyter Notebook, stuff like that. So as you're going to be using, the syntax does not change, but we're using PG admin as our interface to run the code. So if you have MySQL or Oracle, the same syntax, you can follow along.
Okay.
Please, it is saying bad image after I clicked on it.
Can you share your screen?
Okay,
Because
wait,
right now, sorry, mother.
Yeah, I can hear you.
I said because right now I don't have connection on my system, so I won't be downloading it now. Maybe after the class or tomorrow, I can go
Yeah, you
through.
can. Yeah, the material will be sent to you, so you can follow along. Everything is going to be in material.
Are you sending the recording after the class or to be tomorrow?
Yeah, after the class.
Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Okay, so I want to share my video now. Okay, so I'm clicking on SQL 14, then PG admin 4. This is what it is showing.
Can you delete it again?
I should delete and download again.
So what you have to do is you try to download the 32-bit instead of 64.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. When I'm there, I'll ask you. Thank you.
All right. So guys, good evening. Yeah, this is Damola speaking. So I mean, the point of what we are trying to do here is we're trying to teach SQL as a programming language, but PostgreSQL, which is the PGAdmin 4 that we are connecting to, is like the host. So it's like the environment where we are going to be querying our code basically. So, just like Tayo said, SQL is like a programming language that you use to query databases, right? But before you can write a code, you have code editors, you have what they call it, integrated development learning environment. You have environments, just like last week. You can write Python on different environments, Visual Studio, Atom. There are a lot. But for our track, we just stick to using Google Colab. You can use your Jupyter Notebook, Spider, etc. But for SQL, for this track, we are considering using PostgreSQL. So before we started, we already sent a link on how to install all these things. So the expectation is that you must have gone through them, and coming to class is going to be easy because right now, yeah, we apologize that we started late because we have technical issues. But right now, some of our time is going, walking you through the installation of all these things. Because next week, we're still going to take you through data visualization with Tableau. And by now, we already expect you've gone through the installation of Tableau. You get, because that's actually going to take most of our time. So just for us to wrap up and just to go ahead, start with this session. We're going to be teaching the fundamentals of structured query language, which is SQL. Then we hope that by the end of the call, you will try to practice what happened when what we teach today, or what Tayo goes, what we teach SQL today. So yeah, that's just everything. So I mean, I'm just saying this against next week. By the time we're using a new software, if you have issues installing or you have any issue trying to download them, please just state it on the Slack channel. I try my best to reply everybody. So again, let's try our best to install these things so we don't take much of our time. And it's going to be easy for you, starting off yourself, trying something before the class. So by the time we start, it's not going to be a very new thing to you that way. So yeah, it's going to start the class properly right now. So you can use this opportunity to
Hello, sir.
install PG and other stuff. Thank you.
Hello. Hello.
So I'll be going straight to the content of the class now.
Hello.
Okay. Yeah. So basically, now let's take for an example. We want to create a data set. Let's take for example, we want to use Excel to create a data set. Now we have something like this in Excel. Let's say name, age, school, course, and department. Let me say department. Yeah, this is I'm saying this in case you are going to start creating your own database from afresh, not querying directly. Like you are creating your database from afresh. So sometimes you'll be given files and formats that have been created already. Your own is just to bring out the information you want by querying it. But if you are creating your database from afresh, I'm going to use this as an example. So this is Excel. We're trying to create a database. Now, let me say the name. Let me say Okon. Age 24, school, Unilag, course, mathematics. Let me say course, statistics, and department, mathematics. Let's say this is a student database that contains the name of the students, the age, the course, and the department. This is Excel. Now to do this in SQL, now you can see in Excel, we don't have to add any data type. We know name, this is a variable character, age, integer, the rest variable character. So to do this in Excel, you're going to be creating in SQL, you're going to be creating a table. This is your table in Excel. So in SQL, you create your table. Come over here. This is a PG admin. You can see the database. Create a database. Okay. So we say student info. And you save. So this is the name of our database. From its network. Now you can see that our database has been created. Student info. Can you see that? Please create your database, student info. Right click on your databases, then click on database. Click on create, then database, then you write student info. Have you done that? Yeah, so for your table, you go to schemas, you click on your schemas, see the public, then you move down, scroll down to tables. You can see the tables here, you right click and you click on create table. So this way you are using the PG admin style, but now I'm going to be using the query method. So I won't use this, I'll use the query method by clicking on query tool. Yeah, so this is where you input your SQL syntax. So we're going to be creating a table. So the syntax for creating table, let me open my slide so you can see. It says create table, table name, first column, data type, ignore the constraints. Column 2, data type 2. So I'm going to be walking you through with this Excel file. So I'm going to be creating name, age, school, course, and department. So I'm going to be writing create table. So anytime you put in an what would I call it? An SQL input language, it's going to be coming out in this colored sign. So just know it's an input language. This is the name of our table, basic info. Now, to input your column's name, the first one was name. Name we're going to be using what variable character HAR. The other one was age. So in our age column, you notice that it's an what? Integer. So this is an integer. Variable character means you can mix numbers and letters together, but integer is just numbers alone. Yeah, guys, are you following?
No, we are too fast. I don't understand it.
Too
I'm not
fast. Where are you?
following you.
Mute. Please go back. Oh.
From
Please,
where?
can
From
we
where?
start? Can we start from the schemas part?
Yeah, after you've created your database, I said create a database by right clicking on database like this.
I'm not saying it.
This woman fake
Create
focus. Later on mute.
database, create, then database, then you
So
put
yeah,
student info.
that out.
Student info as the name of the database. So in our database, we're going to be creating a table. I already explained why we're creating this using Excel. So we know when you're working with a company that stores a lot of data, you can't store a lot of data in Excel because there's limit to what its carriage capacity. So that's why they use SQL. They use cloud. They use cloud server. Yeah, so you can store a lot of data in the cloud server. You don't have to be bothered about storage. So now, if you want to get, let's say you're working as a marketing manager in a company that sells stuffs, and you have been tasked to get some data about the marketing team. Now, this details is in the server. The only way you can query those server is using the SQL to fetch out the information you want. So when you know the basic syntax, you know how to go about your way. Any interface you are using is still the same syntax. Just don't worry. With due time, I will send some data whereby you can practice more and more. So please create your database. Have you done that? You put your database name here, then you save.
Excuse me, I need your help. Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, this stuff is requesting for password.
Yeah, you just input your password, create your password, and input it.
Like create any password.
Yeah, that you won't forget.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'll be carrying on. So we're creating our table, which is basic info, which contains basic information of the student's info.
How do
So
we get data info?
Share your screen. Share your screen so that
yeah, that's the name of our database. That's the name of the database we are creating. That I told you to right click on your database.
boy,
Then
student
you
info.
click on create. Click on create, then database,
Okay.
then you name it student info.
Yes, we did. Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, so we have done that.
Yeah, so under the database now, you go to your schemas,
Yes,
database
sir.
of the student info. Then you scroll down to tables.
Okay.
Then you right click to again.
Okay.
Okay.
Then you click on query to.
Very true.
Finally. Thank you. Yes, we are there.
So you cannot write in the syntax I'm putting in on your system.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're going to be creating a table now, which is this is the name of the table, basic info. We're going to be inputting this column's name and their data type. The age is an integer. Then we have the school, the course, and the departments, which are all going to be variable character.
So the VLCHL, what does it mean?
Variable character, that is, it can contain numbers and letter.
Oh,
Yeah. So when you are writing your SQL statement, it's important to end it with your semicolon. Without the semicolon, it won't run. I believe everyone has written this. I'll be waiting for some seconds before I continue. If you haven't gotten to this interface, please let me know. This is the interface you should be
Yes,
seeing on
sir.
your system.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I
Yes,
can hear
sir.
you.
Yeah, I'm a bit far behind.
Okay, where are you?
The setup is still installing.
Okay. Yeah, you can just follow up. You get the recordings and you watch later and follow up.
Okay. That works too. Thank you very much.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, I
Hello?
can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, the PG admin stuff server could not be contacted.
Your data should be on, please.
It's on.
Check if your data is on. Definitely be on since you are
And
alive.
like that, sir. We should continue class. Maybe I'll try later. Please, just 1 minute.
Yeah, so I'm going to be running my query now. I believe everyone is there. So you highlight your code and you click on the run. Now, if your query is successful, you will see a pop-up instantly under the message tab. Query returned successfully in the time frame 169 milliseconds. Now you go back to your schemas and you refresh. Now you can see table has been created. Can you see the basic info table? If you have run your query, you should be seeing your basic info table now.
Sir, excuse me.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Please, this code we're writing now. Are we, we're just literally copying what you have written here.
Yes.
How do we do it how do we do it? Because I'm just seeing certain keywords here. How do we do it on our own?
This is what we are
Or
following.
is there a pattern to follow or something?
This is it. You have this slide.
To be looking for your.
Can you see this?
Okay.
Oh. So how do we run it?
So highlight your code. Don't forget to put your semicolon at the end of your code. Then you highlight it and you press F5 or you press the run button, the run icon on your interface.
The run button. Where's the run?
Where's the run icon?
Sorry.
Display. Can you see this?
Wait.
Yes, I'm not seeing where.
Sorry.
There's a play button on the interface of the PG admin.
Oh, play.
Oh, thank you. Did you put this thing at the end?
Let me first.
So I don't really get. Is it that we want to create that file on?
Sorry, please. I hope the class is being recorded because I got bumped out because of network some moment ago. So I hope the class is being recorded. Thank you, sir. I don't even know what we're doing right now.
Sorry, are we trying to create the same dashboard as that?
Yeah, so the thing
I don't
is,
really understand what we're doing.
yeah, so like SQL and Excel, yeah, they behave very similar. But the point is, in Excel, you can see that there's a limitation. If you go down, you have about, I think 3,000 or something by something row. You can't store billions of data in Excel sheet or Excel workbook. So that's why there is, an environment, or should I say, yeah, an environment where you can access pgadmin. You can create millions of tables, right? So that's one of the reasons why we are teaching SQL as a data analyst. So what we want to try to do is we want to mimic this stuff. I mean, almost everybody, or if not everybody here, can do something like this. So you have Okon, 24 years in Unilag, studying statistics, taking statistics course at the Department of Mathematics. So we want to imitate something like this in SQL. So, I mean, he has already explained how to do that. You go to database, right click, create student info. Then you go to tables, because we are trying to create a table. It's called basic info. So this is the code to create a table. Create table public dot, the name of the table in quotes, basic info. So that's why basic info is showing here. Do you understand? So if I, let me say I remove this thing, and let me say I just capitalize my I, for example, and I highlight and I run. And I come back here and I refresh my table. You can see it has created a new one, basic info, right? Let me just delete that one and stick to this. So what we are trying to do is we are trying to create a table called basic info. Sorry, let me just run it back. So yeah, this is the code. Your table in quotes, brackets, now your labels. You want your name ID, and you are giving it a data type called variable character, meaning it could be words, letters, and number, just variables. But if you come here, you see that this is a variable, this is an integer, is a number, this is a variable, this is a variable, this is a variable. Name is a variable, age, integer. Obviously, your age cannot be Unilag or something. Your age has to be numbers. So I can add your age plus another age. I can take the average of ages and stuff like that. But the rest, they are variables, they are characters. So that's why here, you have your basic info bracket, name ID. Remember, it's variable. So that's what we use as VAR, comma. So now we've separated this. Sorry. So you can see that this is just one. So like name ID, variable. So the point is name ID as a label, as variable character, age ID as integer, and so on and so forth. So that's what we've just done so far. And you've closed it with a semicolon. Highlight, play. That's like run it, and it has saved. Now it's showing me that it already exists, so that's why it's not running. So that's just what he has done so far. If you have any questions with this, you can just let him know, so we won't waste further time on that. But is that clear enough so we can proceed?
Yes, Damola, it is clear, but we're not seeing our own columns, constraints, indexes.
Refresh,
like we are trying
refresh.
to drop down.
Refresh your tables.
Refresh. Okay, we'll do. Refresh.
God wants us to make total use of our fellow men.
Can you speak now?
No, we can't.
Okay, then go to your schemas and refresh your schemas first. If you cannot see it on your table, go to your schemas, refresh your schemas, then come back to your table, then refresh it.
Okay.
You have to respect every single part of the person you feel.
Where is our table? It's gone. Okay. Oh yeah, we can see. Okay, can we?
Can you see columns?
Nope.
No. Why can't we still see them? Oh yes, we can see. We can see it now. We can see it now. Thank you.
Yeah, so I'm going to continue from there. So this is the slide I'm using. I'm not adding any constraint at all at the moment now. So in the next slide, these are the constraints we have in the SQL. So you have the not null constraints, that is Demola has explained some things to you before. Now let's imagine you're a database administrator in Unilag and you're working for CICS. Now you're asked to input the details of students in the mathematics department. Now let's just say, okay, you are not around, then your assistant is working on it. Then she comes along and she was trying to input name. She inputs Precious, for example. I'm on Excel now. Then the age, she puts 0. Now, automatically, you know it's not possible for someone to be age 0. So that is the concept of constraints here in SQL. In case, like when you're entering information in a column, you're trying to tell the database that this sort of information should not be allowed in this column. Now, let's say for the not null example, not null. If I set a constraint of not null, I'm trying to say this column and information must be entered. It can't be skipped. It can't be empty. That is the point. It can't be empty. Now, for the default, I'm not specifying anything. Any information can be entered into the column. The primary key, the unique constraint means a special information that must not be repeated. For example, let me use something again. Let me create new. Let's say matric number. Very good. Matric number. Now we know that no students can have 2 matric number. It must be just one, it must be unique. So immediately I create a table and I create a column, matric number, and I set the constraint to unique. It means that information must not repeat twice in that table. It must be different in each row. It must be different. So if your matric number of the department is, let me put matric number here. Matric. So let's say this is 1704493. So when I put the unique constraint on this column, it means I cannot see another 170449223. It's not going to be possible. So it's going to be changing. So that is what the constraint is all about.
So are you just explaining it or you're already putting the constraints like that?
No, I'm just explaining. I'm not putting it yet. I'm not putting it yet.
Oh.
I'm just explaining. So in SQL, we have what we call primary key and foreign keys. So basically, since this is the fundamentals, I won't be going too deep into them. So basically, primary key is just more of a unique constraint whereby where you have multiple tables. For example, I'm talking about the sales data the other time. Assuming you are working in a marketing team, and you have your sales data, you have your product data, and you have your customer table. Now there should be something that will be linking these tables together. That's what we call primary key. Maybe your product that is linking the table together. It may be your customer. It depends on the situation you are in. So most of the time, it's usually the customer ID. I'm not running this program on my system now, so I will have shown you some data that I plan to use, but due to the technical issues, I'm using the another system. So I believe everyone has created the database. Okay, so let me go to somewhere where we can add data into our database. Yeah, so this is the insert statement. Can you see my screen very well? Why do you insert data into your database? Use the keyword insert into the table name, the column, and the values of your data, just like the way we did in Excel here. We have Precious. I want to insert another information into my, let's say 32. Let's say let's say statistics. Okay. Let's say math. Let's say blah, blah. That's all. We want to insert another rule into our table in SQL. So can somebody try that using this keyword? Can somebody try that using this? And please share your screen. Now, who is doing that for us? Try adding these rules. Try adding these rules, this information, by using this syntax. Insert into the table name. The table name is what? Basic info. Then the first column, name. List all the whole column first. Then your values should follow accordingly.
So what are we trying to do now? I'm already confused.
Try to insert another role of data into the table. We have only one. We are trying to insert another role just like this. We have not inserted this before, but we are trying to insert this now. So anyway, you could do is the Ocon or the Precious. Just try and insert it using this code, this particular one here. Let me show you your data, your table, so that you will see that it's actually empty for now. Now look at this is our table. It is actually empty, no information in our table. So we're trying to insert information into our table. We just have only the columns name, the name ID, the age, which is an integer, the school, the course, and the department. I'm waiting for someone to do that for us.
Please, can we see the slides?
Yeah, this is it.
And actually, those passwords don't work.
You can see the example there. So basically, from the
So
slide,
table name would be the one that we
you can insert data directly without. You can insert data into the column directly without including the column's name. What SQL will do is for every information you insert, your comma separating it to take each column accordingly. For example, now if I insert this into the table I've created, the one will go for the name, the B will go for the age, the C will go for the school. So if you don't want to include your column name, then you should insert your value accordingly. So you can just write insert into basic info, values, name, values, precious, comma, 32, comma, UNILAG, comma, statistics, comma, department, then your semicolon, then you run it. Please, SQL is case sensitive. Make sure you are writing a table name in the way it is being created. Anyone?
Your phone, your laptop is slow. I mean, why is it slow? Is it 8 GB? Your own is 8 GB. It's a better day, 8 GB. Yeah, isn't it for business? Mm. Times other subset does not need plenty. Data. You they send the link to your email. They send the link to your email. Oh my. Hey, lower your gaze. Don't need to lower his gaze. Don't look too much. You need to value.
Yeah, sorry, it was the network. We are back now. Yeah, can you guys hear me? Okay. Has anyone be able to create insert data into the table? Have you been able to insert data into the table? Please use this syntax. Use this syntax here, please. Use this particular syntax here. Don't not word for word, just follow this pattern. What I'm trying to say. Insert into basic info, then you list all your columns, then the value you want to insert. I can't hear you. Yeah, Mr. Toby. Can you please go ahead? Toby. Where are the ladies in the room?
Please, see, we are still at insert. You are trying to insert into our table name. That's basic info. Oh, you're showing the same thing.
The same thing.
Okay, well, I'm following then.
Replay.
Are you playing this woman?
Please type along. So these are the columns name. So we're inserting into basic info the name ID, the age ID, the school, the course, and the department. So we're going to be picking one of these two data. You can take Okon or Precious, anyone. What follows your values?
Sorry, can we get access to that file that you're using? No.
Well, Sorry guys, it's Damola here. So we are trying to resolve the technical issue, but we are going to be joining very soon. So just bear with us.
Yeah, so can you guys hear me now? So I'm saying you should use this code to insert. Yeah, so this is the code we are going to be using to insert data into our table. Can you see my screen?
So is it just me? I cannot hear anything.
Yeah, I'm coming.
I can't listen to what they are saying. Don't worry.
Hello.
Where is my code?
Yeah, I'm coming. I will join you guys back soon. I'll be with you guys soon.
She needs to.
Hear me now. Hear me now. Oh, hear me now. This is the first time I'm downloading in 6 months. I swear to God. I swear. Which anime? Who is downloading?
Is this network?
Hello, Damola. Are we done?
No, we are not. Tayo is having issues, but he's going to rectify it soon.
All right.
Yeah, guys. So sorry for the delay. Come, let me share the screen. Okay. So everyone should have gotten to this stage by now. Yeah. Everyone should have gotten to this stage by now. So I stopped at inserting data into the table we've created, which is the basic info. So basically, I told you to insert data into, this is the Excel sheet I was using to explain. So I told you could pick any of this information. We're just using it for practice. But later, after the day, I'm going to be dropping the assignments whereby you are going to create your own database entirely with informations. So to insert the data into your table in SQL, this is the syntax you use. Insert into customer table, then the column names. These are the columns names. Then the values. Now, if you notice what I've done, you did not see any column name here. There's no column name. I just went straight and I inserted the values. Why? Because I'm inserting only a single row. Are you guys following?
Yes.
Okay, so initially, if you notice, there was no any information on our table before. So now if you go to your basic info table and you click on view data, all rows, now you see that the information has been entered into your table. Okon, which is the name, the age is 23. Okay, I didn't even enter it properly. Let's just take, for example, okay. Let me insert it, just for practice, let me insert another data into the table. Come in. Yeah, so the school is Unilag. What's statistics? And department is mathematics. Math. So you run your query. Then you go for your data output. Now, can you see the? Now you can see another rule has been added. That is because I didn't modify the table. I added another rule. I didn't update the table. So there are a lot of syntax you have to learn. But since this is a beginner's class, there's not much time. But if you have any question or anything, just send it to the Slack.
We actually can't see the screen. You can't see your screen. The screen you are sharing.
You can't see my screen.
ECX screen.
I
No, you just go
can
to
see
the
the
tab
screen.
of where you're
The screen is
you
showing
can
now.
see your screen, but you're not on the tab. You're not on the tab where you're explaining.
Yeah, go to tables under the database.
We can't see the database. What we are seeing is the team screen.
Did you create a database?
Like your screen is the teams we are seeing. We are not seeing your SQL screen.
Jamola, please come over. You can't see the PG admin interface.
Okay, you are there now. I can see it now.
Yeah, so this is the database we have created, student info. Then under it, go to your schemas, then your table. Create a table that contains the basic information of the students. To view this information, you have to right click, then you click on view, edit all rows, then it's going to be showing. So this way you can continue to input data into your database. If you have to add more data, you come here again. Instead of writing from the beginning, you can just plain and do you have any Just giving an example. Don't laugh at my information.
So for the age that is integer now, if somebody can put word there, it will be error or something. Just asking, sha.
Can you hear you clearly?
For the age
What did you say?
that already made.
Yeah.
For the age that is
Yeah,
integer,
this is the age.
that means you cannot put any other value inside.
Yes, it must be a number.
Okay.
Now you can see precious information has been entered into the database. Precious is 33 years old, to school in Funab. Our course is botany, then let's say faculty science, not department science. So that is how to insert single rows. Then for multiple rows, I won't based on the time you'll be practicing more on your own, because I won't be able to cover a lot if you continue practicing one by one. So for multiple rows, this is the syntax. You insert into customer table the values accordingly, the way you named your columns. That's how you should enter your data if you don't put your columns name. Now you can see in my own example here, I didn't put any column name, I just went in to insert my values. So if you mistakenly shift, maybe there's a place you wanted to, let me show you here. Maybe for example here. Now you can see there is there is school before us. You can see the mistake I made here. I entered statistics before UNILAG. So UNILAG is meant to be here. So it's the way you enter your data. If you are not inputting your columns, that is going to enter into your database. Now statistics is meant to be here, and UNILAG is meant to be here. So I hope you get that now. This is the syntax. Insert into your values if you are not including your column names. Now, another way to get that. Yeah, I'm hearing you. Now, for example, let's say we have. Okay. Now, for example, let's say we have a file that will be given to us in CSV format, and we want to import the data into our database. You have your CSV in your local storage, but you want to import it into your SQL. How do we go about that? So basically, let me check if I don't have any. I don't have any CSV file. So I'm writing the syntax. I don't want to tamper with his files. So basically, if you have the first thing you do is to create the table. If you are copying the data from a CSV file, you're going to create the table. You create the table of data. Let's say you have a Excel sheet that has information about the school students, the GP, and everything, the courses and the units all together. So the first thing to do is to create your table. Once you create your table, then you copy that CSV file into your table using this code. You can practice later with any CSV file you have in your system. Now, the from, you are going to specify the part of the file in your system. How do you do that? You go to your, can you see this? So you specify where, okay, let's say look at this. I'm just trying to. Then you come here. See, when you, for example, let's say the CSV file is in this folder. So you copy this. not going to run the code because there's no CSV file there actually. Then the name of the file, let's just say info.csv. Now, after that, you include your delimiter.
Sorry, where did you get this
What do I
link
do?
from?
I'm just explaining. This is just explanation. How to use copy data from a CSV file to your table. I don't have any CSV file on Damola system. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can
So
you hear
CSV
me?
is different
Now, let's
from
say, for
Excel.
example,
Sorry.
CSV means comma separated value.
Okay.
Comma separated value. Yes. So the information entered into that file is separated by commas. That's what it means. Something like this. I'm coming. Something like this. Something like this. Name.
I don't remember. That's what I mean.
I write information like this.
Okay.
And I say this. This is a comma separated value. Did you get what I'm saying?
Yes.
This is a comma separated value. So there's different type of this comma is called a delimiter. So it might be comma, and sometimes it might be semicolon to separate the values. So it depends on your delimiter. So most of the time you open your CSV file through a text, through your notepad, then you know the delimiter.
I understand.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah, so once you know your delimiter, you have to indicate your delimiter while importing your files. So that's what it's telling you here. You copy the table name, the column from your file path, then your delimiter. Most of the time, it's usually comma. Then you include your CSV header. If your table is containing headers, if it does not contain headers, you don't put CSV header. For example, here, these are the headers here. So this contains headers. So if I want to import this now, I have to input CSV headers at the end of my code, then my semicolon. But assuming there was no name, I just add only these informations here, these two rows. There was no name, age, school. Then I will have to clean my CSV header. That is my file has no header. So let's go to the select statement. Now, for the select statement, this is actually where you start writing you start being professional, let me say. That's when you start writing your coding. Most of the code you start from SQL, you start with select. That means you have been given a database. You're not creating your own. You have your database, the tables, everything intact on the server. So your own is just to query out the information you want. So you start, let's say for example, let me see if there's any database here. Okay, let's use this. Let's use this one we've created. Let's use this. Let's say now the select statement is used to fetch data out of a table. Now imagine we have 10 million rows of information that contains sales data, the products, the price, the seller, the buyer, the product ID, and a lot of information you want to get. 10 million rows. You can't do that in Excel. You have to query it here on your server. From your server, you have to use the SQL to get your information. So the select statement is what can help you do that. So the first thing you do is you select, which is an SQL word, this SQL keyword. Select the column name. If it's one column, you put the column name you want to select from. If it's more than one, you include multiple columns from the table name. Let's say now, for example, we have created the student info, the database of the student info, created basic info. Now let's say we want to select information from this basic info. Basically, this is what we have inputted. This is what we have here. So let's say we want to select from this table where age is equal to 23. So you have to write your select statement. Right. Are you guys carrying along? Are you guys carrying along?
Yes, somehow.
Somehow. Okay. So we're talking about the select statement now. So we're going to select, we don't have enough information in our table, so we're just going to work with what we have there. We have only 3 rows there. So let's say we select name.
I don't download Otaku.
Are you guys see what I'm doing?
It's not showing the page again.
Oh, I'm coming. Stop, sorry. Can you see it now?
Yes.
Can you see it now? Yeah. So this is an example of the select statement, how you use it. So I'm just working on the database we created, which is very short. Now you can see now database contains columns like name, age, school, department, then course. But now I'm selecting only the name from that table, which I have Okun, Precious, and what? Okun and Precious. Now let's assume I want to take my age alone. Now can you see I've taken the columns with the age alone. 23, and what? 33. So basically, knowing all these syntax is, I won't want us to start practicing everything one by one. I want you to know them. So when you are being given a task, you'll be able to, your projects, you'll be able to manipulate and work on it by yourself. Because if you continue taking this one by one, trust me, 2 months we're still on this. So let's go to, let's select multiple columns from the table. Let's select name. Now, can you see? I've selected the name, the age, and the department alone from my basic information table. There's no course, there's no school. It don't depend on the task you are working with, but the basic thing is for you to know your syntax and how to write them. Now, what about I want to get everything from my table? There's a word we call, there's a symbol we use, which is the asterisk symbol. Once you use this symbol, it's going to get every column from the table. Call it star. Let's select now you notice the difference now. Now can you see all the information has been given? So once you use this white card, which is called star, you show every columns in your table. Are you following?
Yes, I am.
Girls, are you following? Okay, so let's move ahead. So the last one is select distance. Now, when you're selecting distance, it means you are picking only unique values. Now, for example, here, if you check our data, our tables, you can see that there are duplicates in our table. So the moment I use select distance, it means I'm picking only unique values. Now, if I use select distance here, it won't show me two Ocon information. To pick one of the Ocon and one of the precious. That means I'm only the unique value, not duplicate. Now, select star will pick every column, every information. When I select distance, we only pick the unique values. If I'm having a cone 500 times, you only pick one out of it. Only one cone, one precious, and so on and so forth. Now, the where is used to specify, the SQL where clause is used to specify a condition while fetching the data from a single table. If the given condition is satisfied, then it only returns a specific value from the table. Select age from basic info, where, or let's say, okay, select name from basic info, where age is equals to 23. Let's try around that. Let's see how it goes. Now, can you see? It's only selected what? Ocon, because Ocon is the only name that has the age what? 23. Precious is what? 33. Now, if I change this to 33, It's giving me precious. Are you guys following along? Okay. So
Yes.
the next SQL statement is the logical operators. If you are from a mathematical background, you should know the AND or statements. So the SQL and or operators are used to combine multiple conditions to narrow data in an SQL statement. These two operators are called the conjunctive operators. Now the syntax is select the column name from the table, where and. So let me try and show you this. Now I'm selecting name from the public info, basic info table, where age is equal to 33 and the school name is equal to what? FUNAB. Now the only person with that information is what? Precious. The moment I change this to 23 and school is equal to FUNAB, that's what it gives us. Nothing. Nobody is a 23 and it's from FUNAB. Okon is a 23 and it's from what? UNILAG. Now you can see Okon. So knowing your SQL syntax is just the most important aspect of your journey in data analysis. It's very important to know SQL. There's no, you can't escape it. You must know it. So I'll be moving to the next. So we have the hand, we have the or, we have the not. So you just feel free to go to the slides. Now I'm going to the update. Now updates basically means you want to edit what you have inserted into your table. And the code is update table name. Set is an SQL word. You can see those words in capital letter, they are all SQL words, they are keywords. Just like the way you have prints in your Python. So they are key SQL words. So update table name, set column 1, the value. If there's a where condition, include it. And the delete syntax is used to delete existing record from the table. So you delete from the table name. Yeah, can I hear you?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, come again.
What condition that the way condition that you explained now, is it the record name that we're going to use?
Is it the update syntax?
The last part, like that example condition. Yes.
Okay, I hear you.
So what are we going to put there? Is the normal thing for every other record? Or I don't really understand.
When you're updating, it's just like you coming to your, maybe you made a mistake here. Instead of UNILAG, instead of let's say photo, you input UNILAG. So you want to update it in Excel, you just easily go your F2. You just clear and you just put photo. Yes. So in SQL, you use the updates instead of this. In SQL, is the updates you use. So you use the updates, the table name, which is the basic info. You set the column, which is what? School, equals to photo. Did you get what I'm saying? Now your where, let's say where name equals to what?
So you
code.
need
Did you get what I'm saying?
the column.
Let me practicalize it so you can see what I'm saying. Let's change this. I made a mistake here. Let me show you. Let me show you what I'm saying. Now this is school and I'm putting stats. So let me change this now to, let me change to another. So let me just say photo. Or yeah, let me use photo here. And I want to update this school to photo now. So I'm going to be writing the query now. So you follow with this. The moment you write an SQL keyword, the color is going to change. Once you write a word and the color change, just know that that word you have written is an what? SQL keyword. So we're going to be updating the table. Now, did you get it now? Are you writing the syntax along?
Yes, I understand. I will. It's not going yet. My laptop. Yes, sir, we are going.
Now, query returns successfully in time frame. Now, if you check my data now, you see that what my statistics has gone to what photo. Did you get what I'm saying now?
Yes, I understand. Thanks.
Yeah. So we're moving on to the delete statement. Now, the delete query is used to delete existing record from the table. So if you want to drop your, for example, I have two opens there. If I want to drop one, I just enter the syntax, delete from basic info, where name ID is equals to Okon, then to delete both. But there's another condition you want to include, whether there's different age. Just input your condition using the syntax. So we have the alter too. The alter statement is used to change the definition or structure of an existing table. For example, you can, with your alter statement, you can drop a column, you can add a column, you can modify a column, you can rename a column. So to add a column, you put alter table, which is the SQL keyword, table name, add column name, then data type, then you know your code. So let's say, for example, I want to add GP here now. I want to add GP colon. Basically, we add GP colon before, so that
Hi, because I have a question.
Yeah, maybe. Hey.
Okay, so I'm currently stuck on the first part, the insert to. So I
The what?
created my table, but the table is not showing under data output.
To go to your table, then you click on right click, then you click on refresh. Then have you clicked on refresh?
Yes.
Have you seen the basic info? Have you created the basic info table?
Yes.
Have you added your columns?
Yes.
Okay, so you right click and click on view.
Mm-hmm.
All rows. Then you see the column names.
Yeah, that's what I did. It's not still showing. It's showing 0 rows affected.
Yeah, because you've not started any data into your columns. There's no data into your tables. That's why. So you have to insert data into your table using the insert command.
I have.
Can you share your screen, please?
Okay.
Share your screen. I'm waiting for you. Use this to insert data into the table. Insert data into Okay, so we'll be running up now. So I think we'll be having. I'll be sending some CSV file whereby you can practice all the statements. You can practice all the statements on your own. I'm waiting for the lady that want to share her
Send the
screen.
slides to the Slack.
Yeah, the slide will be dropped in your Slack channel. Yeah, definitely. Yes, the slide will be dropped in your Slack channel. And the recordings too.
Okay, if you don't use the channel, okay.
Please know that your PG admin, you must be connected to the internet to use it too.
Yeah.
So please, the slide will be dropped in the Slack channel. You can go through it. I'll be sending a CSV file where you can practice. Then our next class will be having calculations, how to use calculation statements in SQL, your addition, your add, round, and stuff like that. By
Yeah. Yeah, we really hope. Are you trying to say something, Sumaya? I hope I got your name right.
Yes, I'm saying it's next class, not tomorrow.
Yeah. We agreed that we'll be having extra classes, relative from the ones we have on Friday. So yeah, there will be a makeup class tomorrow, just to further extend what we've taught today, and also to help you with any problems you have. But it's just going to be for an hour. But definitely, we'll let you know the time. But just yeah.
We said that a class is to hold from 10 to 2 tomorrow. So is that the makeup class?
I can't hear you very well.
A class is scheduled to hold tomorrow from 10 to 2. They sent the announcement. Is it for the makeup class?
No, ours is going to be virtual. Ours is going to be virtual.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. All right.
But then we are going to,
So
we
we
still have, just hold on, I'll attend to you. We still have like an assignment we have to
okay.
give you for the NumPy and Pandas exercise plus the SQL. So we're not just going to, how do I put it? We're not going to, give a lot of pressure for you because we understand that, it's very difficult to learn, especially when you are new to these things. It's very difficult to kind of learn everything at once. So we're going to be taking it step by step. We told you that from the initially that it's very difficult to learn these languages at once. So, yeah, you're going to take your time, but the point is everything is on you. The learning is on you, the practicing is on you, and that's what is going to make you better. So, go through the internet, check up exercises. This is more like an introduction to SQL, basically, and that's what we're going to be doing for most of the tools or programming languages would be teaching in this track. So yeah, not just to waste time or to prolong things. If any question you can do now, and you can complete that, please. Send me a message that this is what you are, this is the question, and I'll find time to reply. Please reply. And please, next class next week, if you're having a Tableau session, the expectation is try to solve the class. You might have issues while downloading or while uploading your student ID for people that want to download this Tableau desktop. Please just let me know what look, just text me what you are facing and I'll reply immediately. So try as much as possible. I'll send how to download it and how to install it this night. But please just ensure you download it, and you could even practice before the class just for you to be well, have basic navigations of the software. But then tomorrow we'll still continue the SQL classes and I'll let you know about the time very soon.
Okay.
All right. Thank you very much for joining. I'll be ending the class now and be sending the recording very soon too. All right. Good night.
Thank you.
Yeah, goodbye to everyone.